Guys, welcome back to Chess Mateo. Our topic on this video is all about the Stafford Gambit from the Petrops defense. So on this video, I will show you a trap, and after the trap, the reputation of the trap. So let's start now. The Stafford Gambit starts with the move e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, the Petrov defense, and after knight takes e5, black here chooses to play knight c6 to gambit the e5 pawn. Because the main line here to maintain the material balance is to play d6, and after knight f3, then we can regain now the e4 pawn through knight takes e4. But after knight to c6, black here chooses to gambit the pawn, because the white now can capture that knight on c6, and after the recapture on the c6, we shall see that the white here has pawn up. But in return to the gambit, we can see that there is a lot of piece activity on this position. The bishop now has his own diagonal control, and the queen is also controlling the d file, and another is the knight is now attacking the undefended pawn on e4. So on this game, white chooses to defend his undefended pawn on e4 with the move d3, and after the developing move bishop to c5 with an early pressure of an attack to the f2, and also controlling the a7 square to g1 square diagonal. So white here chooses to try to block that control of bishop to c5 with the move c3. This c3 move intends to play d4 in the future to block our bishop on c5 on the control of dark square diagonal. So this c3 move allows now black to play knight takes e4, and this now starts the trap, because here white plays d takes e4, leaving with a queen confrontation on the d file. After d takes e4 of white, here comes now the tactical shot for black, and that is bishop takes f2. The king cannot capture the f2 bishop because his queen on d1 is under attack by the queen. For example, after king takes f2, then white loses a queen on d1 and also the game. So here, white avoids that idea and plays king to e2, but still it allows now black to play bishop g4 check. So the king cannot go on these squares because of queen, and also this d3 and e3 and e1 because there is bishop. The only move here for white is to capture the f2 bishop, but it allows here black to gain a massive material advantage through queen takes d1. So here, black wins the queen, and also in the future wins the game. So, just a recap for the drop. After e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, knight takes e5, knight c6, knight capture, pawn recapture, pawn defense, bishop attack, trying to defend, capture, recapture, capture, and after the king move, check, and wins the queen. So, let us first flip the board and see what's going on the white's perspective. So, going back to the initial position, on e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, knight capture, knight c6, the Stafford gambit, capture, d takes c6, d3 is still a good move on this position because it defends his undefended pawn on e4 and also maintaining the pawn up advantage on this position. And after bishop to c5, still c3 move is a good idea because the idea of c3 is to block the diagonal of a7 to g1 square, which also detonates the strong attack of bishop on c5 to our f2 pawn. And after knight takes e4, here on this position, white must not play the move d takes e4 because it leads now to the trap. So, on this position, we shall now refute the trap. Instead of recapturing with the move d takes e4, we shall play now with white with the move d4, going to our an idea from the previous move of c3. So that was our idea when playing c3, and after this, we will go for that with the move d4, covering this idea of bishop on controlling the diagonal on a7 to g1 square. So after d4, the black here can still go for an trap and place castle. Yes, there is still a trap here after castling a black, because after d takes c5, here now comes the capture on d1, and after king takes d1, there is a knight takes f2 check, and also forking the king and rook, which is to conclude that the black here may wins some material. So d takes c5 here is not recommended move on this position, but white must just play here bishop to d3, attacking the knight and also leaving his c5 pawn is still attacked by our pawn on d4. So after rook e8, again bishop takes e4 still equal because there is a recapture and check, but d takes c5 is a blunder move and still going for the trap of black, because after d takes c5, we shall see that after knight takes c3, a discover check from rook, and also the knight is still attacking the d1, so black here can win our queen. So going back on this position after rook e8, the recommended move on this position is just go for a king safety, which is to castle on the king side. And after here, saving his bishop, still his knight is defended. So white here must play queen to c2 to give an attack to e4 knight, and also giving some tempo for development on queen to c2, because after bishop c5 defending, then we can now play knight d2, pressuring that knight on e4, forcing to have an exchange from knight takes d2. So bishop takes f5 is a blunder because there is still knight takes f1. So after bishop takes d2, here comes the bishop takes d3 a block and queen takes d3. So here there is one last trap for black here, and it is the move c5. Because we cannot capture that c5 pawn, because after d takes c5, here comes the discovered attack and check to our king and to our queen on d3. For example, after king takes h2, then black here wins our queen on d3. So the only good move here left, and also going for our development, we must play here rook a1, rook a to e1, controlling the e file square, and also avoiding those trap on bishop the d takes c5. So after queen d7, we shall see that there is a material balance. The only difference on this position is the black has a double pawn, which still leads to white with a slight advantage. So that's all. I hope you enjoy this video, and I'm saying now goodbye.